So, I am here. And I received a message, a video that pretty much reminded me of something that the Lord had said to me, something that the Lord had spoken to me about. And I was just waiting on the right time, I guess, and making sure that, it wasn't something of my flesh. It wasn't something that I just wanted to share. So out of nowhere, I just started feeling really weird, started feeling really down. And a lot of the things that seemed like detours that I wasn't really focusing on, I started focusing on them. So as I received this message from a pastor in Brazil, she was speaking about a tree. She was speaking about a tree and how the tree has been transformed. And that reminded me of what God had said to me. I have a tree just right outside my window. There are 2 trees, right? So at the end of winter, beginning of summer, God started showing me how that tree wasn't fruitless anymore, how the tree wasn't barren, and how the tree had actually become such a big, beautiful green tree. And the Lord just kept telling me that, that's what he does. That's how he transforms. That's how he moves. That's how he changes. That's how he makes the barren land with fruits and all of that, but it just didn't quite hit like how it hit me today and right now. So as you can see, there are these 2 trees. The one that is beautiful and green with so many leaves, it wasn't like that. It was actually worse than the one that I am showing you. It was worse than that. But because of the rain, because of the smell of the water, because of water being around, because of all of these good stuff, and of course the power of God, it was renewed, it was restored, it started giving fruits. And I know that there are times in our lives where we look at things, right? We see what God is doing in our lives and we just feel like giving up. We just feel like, this tree is too dull, this tree is too barren, it will never give fruits. I have been standing year after year, I have been doing year after year, but it's still the same thing. Nothing has changed. Everything remains the same. Everything remains the same. And it's the same thing, in winter. Starting from autumn, these trees started losing their leaves. They started kind of being the opposite of what they were intended to be, what they were purposed to be. And for a good, let's say 8 months, these trees were producing no fruits. But at the right season, at the right time, things started changing. And that's what the Lord is saying to us, that things are going to change, that things won't always remain this way, that there is no way that it can always remain this way. That because, just like how the tree, from the rain, the smell of the water, just having some water around, because of the sun, because of God and all his power and all his goodness, it became renewed. It will be the same thing with your situation. It will be the same thing with what you are seeing as fruitless. As you are seeing as fruitless right now, it will be the same exact thing, because you are hearing the words, you are receiving the prophecies, you are reading the word, you are listening, to what God is saying, you are worshiping him, and all of that is contributing to your tree. All of that is contributing to your situation. All of that is changing things around. And just like how everything starts, with the tree from the roots. It starts from the inside out. God is saying that it's the same thing that he is doing, that right now you might not be able to see it, you might not even be able to sense it in a physical way. But what he is saying is that there will be change, and that the change has already started. That the change has already started taking place. So there is no reason for you, as hard as it is, to be discouraged. Because the same way that this tree started giving fruit, you are going to give fruit. And you may look at the second tree and you may say what I said, like, hey, it's not that barren. There are still some leaves. But at times that is frustrating. At times that is annoying. And why is it annoying? Because you know the potential of it. You know what it's supposed to give. You know what it's supposed to do, and it's not doing that. You know what God has called you for. You know what you are supposed to be living. You know what you are supposed to be experiencing in this life. You know what God has promised you. And sometimes it gets so frustrating because you are not seeing the full tree. You are not seeing the full blossoming of this tree. You are not seeing this tree like the tree that is all green and full of leaves, but you know the potential of it. I know the potential of this tree because it is outside my window. I look at it every day. Every time I want to go to the pool area, I see this tree, and I know that it has the capacity. I know that it has everything in it to be just like the other tree, but at the moment it's not. But does it mean that we lose hope, that we give up? No. And that's what God is saying. Look at where you are right now. Look at the tiny little leaves that are over you, that are on you. Look at even the small blessings and say, this is proof that I am heading in the right direction. This is proof that what I am doing is the right thing. Look at it and say that this is proof that God is about to show out, that God is about to come through, because he will come through. Just because we don't see all the leaves on that tree, that's not evidence that it's not what it's supposed to be. That's not evidence that it's not going to give what it's supposed to give. And that's just what I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to say that God is renewing, God is restoring. There is restoration, and there is going to be change. There is going to be that moment, that time where you will live the goodness of God. Don't give up. Don't look at what you are feeling, at what is being presented. Just don't give up.